Welcome to another show of Driving Growth with Grownomics. Today I have a very special guest, Jasvinder Gill from Bullseye Capital Buyers Agency in Australia. Jasvinder, Jas, Jassi, what do you prefer for us to call you?
Jas.
Jas, this is the most important question. Without a website, without social media, without anything, until recently, you had no marketing. And in that time, you've scaled to 120 odd properties in just over 2 years for all your clients. How did you manage to build such a good business so fast without any marketing? Tell us about your story.
So, before I go on, thank you for having me, Abhishek. And it's a pleasure to be on this drive. Yes, without a website, without a brand logo, we were able to build this Bullseye Capital. And the main reason for that is when I was starting off, all buyer agents were putting up a website, they were putting up their brand logos. But my question was, where does the business come from? The business may or may not come from the website. It may come from the website, but what is your differential? What are you providing different? So I realized that if I have to be different, then the whole world is traveling along this path of social media, website clicks, SEO. I have to do something differently. And whatever I have to do differently, that has to be aligned to my strengths or to what my brand wants to stand for.
Right.
So I realized that I want to grow based on organic growth.
Right.
And for organic growth, it is word of mouth.
Okay.
Right. So word of mouth is one of our biggest strengths today. And we were able to capitalize onto it. And without a website, without a brand logo, without SEO happening, we were able to scale up. So that is what, in short, one is the differentiator strategy. And the other strategy is that if there's a differentiator, then what is the key strengths of the business? And is those strengths good enough of word of mouth propagation? Is that good enough to help you get the volumes or the numbers that you want?
Very interesting. And this is where I want to understand the speed of things as well, because you've done this very quickly. So just to kind of take our viewers to the story, you came to Australia within 6 years of landing in Australia, you developed a portfolio of 6 properties, and that too you started after a couple of years of reaching Australia. So within 4 years, you scaled to 6 properties, all within limited income between you and your wife. And after that, after COVID, you decided, you know what I have learned myself, I want to teach others. I want to do this for others. I want to help others make money, build wealth, and you would help them do that. And that's why you started this business. Is that right?
That's correct.
So take us through that journey as well, because that is very interesting.
Okay. So to give you some milestones or a calendar, I migrated in August 2016. And coming from the mechanical engineering background and the automobile background, I worked with Tata Motors and Mahindra, automobile giants back home in India. But I came into a country where automobile industry is practically extinct. There's no manufacturing happening or negligible and on the path of extinction. So for the first 1.5 years from August 2016 till January 2018, I struggled to get a permanent job. All I used to get part-time jobs or contracts. And banks don't give a loan for a home loan. Or they do, but not easily, right? So in January 2018, when I was given a permanent job, I got a permanent job. And rather than 6 months, my boss made me permanent, that casual, that they confirm you after 6 months that your probation is over, you're now permanent. That he did in March itself. So the day he gave me that, in April 2018, we bought our first property, the principal place of residence, out here in Tarnate in Victoria, Melbourne. 6 months down the line, the bank sent me a mail saying that what you bought for $540,000, or $539 to be precise, has grown by around $60,000 and it is now valued at $600,000. And I was a bit shocked because at that point of time, me and my better half, we both were an annual combined income, I repeat, annual combined income of 150K.
Oh, wow.
So with 150K, I realized that in 6 months or 7-8 months, this property itself has grown by 60 grand. So practically how much ever we both were earning pre-tax the property is probably earning a similar amount. So then I showed it to my wife, and I went and started doing research in property. And I realized that property investment is a very good investment tool in Australia. And the way the Aussies love property, the way it grows, the population growth that is projected for Australia, especially after COVID, etc., what has Australia has become one of the most desired locations to be in, right? So this is of course before COVID. So I showed my wife and did a presentation to her with the same learnings that I used to do in Tata Motors,
Right.
where we were more into the forecasting, doing business case analysis, understanding ROIs, and again predicting the future. Or the automobile industry or the specific model that I was working on for a 5-year, 7-year, 8-year timeline, right? And then making recommendations to senior management. So all that I learned out there, I presented it to my wife. I showed her that, see, if we invest in property for the next few years, right, we may be able to build a portfolio that, you know, in for a few years, we may reach a scenario that the portfolio is growing at a speed higher than, or at a number higher than our annual combined income, right? So she said a yes to me, and thank you to her for that, for believing me. And we started buying property. So in short, from April 2018 to April 2022, I had built a property portfolio of 6 properties, okay, and most of them were pre-COVID, and that is what today those properties that are growing at a number between $250,000 to $350,000 per year. Whereas me and my wife, had we been in that same job still today, we would have been at probably 180 or 200K of annual combined income.
Right.
Especially because during COVID and 1 or 2 years after that, the incomes did not grow much.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So my company itself, had been in that, they were not making much money, so they did not have much scope to go up. So today that property portfolio is growing at a value at greater than whatever annual combined income you have. So that story is what became the foundation of me being able to help others, because I realized that this learnings that I bring from my corporate experience back home in India, Tata Motors, which I did for a long time, and also what I learned in Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. Right. Those learnings can be put they can be cross-implemented from a very complicated Indian automobile industry to a more simplistic and very reliable Australian property.
Right. So your experience working in corporate, working in Tata, your experience and your education from IIM Ahmedabad, all of these years working with so many different businesses, you brought that to use to build your property portfolio and then to build this business around it. And thanks to your wife, your finance minister, who approved it.
Yes.
So, kind of her to do that. But what are some of these learnings? Like, if someone wanted to do this now, right? I want to understand, what does it take for a new person who's starting out this business, who has not gone to an IIMA, who's not worked at Tata Motors, how do they build a business without a website, without much marketing? So can you share some of your learnings that has helped you do it, and maybe someone else might also benefit from that?
I regularly get calls from many buyer agents who have just started, or even today morning I got a call from a person who's considering doing the buyer agency course. And I will share my 2-3 learnings in business, which is not only for buyer agency but in general. Okay. First, what is the intention of you choosing a particular business? Okay. If it is money, yes, that is a significant advantage that business gives you. If you work hard in your business, you can earn more money over your job. In your job, no matter how much of hard work you do, if you are on a fixed pay, a white collar kind of a thing, you are going to get the same pay, right? So if you work more hours on a job, there is the rewards in business will be more, right? 2, you look for flexibility in time. You are your own boss. You're able to take calls. You're able to do things better. And 3rd, in the future, especially after COVID, where redundancy, job security has reduced a lot, a business has a long-term proposition that you can, till the time you are working hard in your business, you are not going to make yourself redundant, right? So there are certain advantages of being a business or being self-employed over a job. But when you start, you have to keep 2-3 things in mind. One, you should be very, very passionate about it. Otherwise, whatever you're doing, and when it requires extra time, especially during the first 3 years, there is a lot more of effort that you have to do, right? There were times when I was working 16 hours a day, and I'm not speaking about 3 years ago. Even last month, in December 2024, I was practically working 16 hours a day. And the Home Minister was very upset, right? But even after being in the business for the decent period, I was working for so many hours. Too, you have to know that if you are not passionate about it, if you're not in love with what you're doing, then when you will have obstacles, you will have hiccups, right? You will give up. But if you are passionate about it, you are in love with it, then you will continue on and you will keep moving on. You will not let those obstacles stop you. So these are the 2-3 things that I say. This is the first thing. You should be passionate about it. Second, once you start off a business, please note, you have to give it 1,000 days. That is slightly around 3 years.
Yes,
right?
just over 3 years. Yeah.
This was taught to me by a less educated person in India, with whom I was he was a builder, and the way he taught me, 1000 din, 1,000 days is what you're supposed to give to a business.
Okay.
And till then, you have to make your plan for that. Okay. That is my second piece of advice. Don't be in a rush to shut down.
Right.
There will be struggles, there will be hiccups. Okay. And third thing that I want to say is that in business, don't sit and overanalyze the things. You can make a micro level analysis. You can do the business case at a micro level. But please note that you have to concentrate on cash flow.
Right.
Right? That where is the sales going to happen from?
Right.
Okay? These are the first 3 things. The next 3 things that I will cover not in so much detail is 1, SWOT. You have to do SWOT analysis. Strength, weakness, opportunity, threat of you yourself as an individual and also of the business that you're planning to do.
Right.
Okay. 2, what is going to be your marketing strategy? What is going to be your procedure? What activities are you going to outsource, etc. This is going to be your second thing. This is again high level planning that I'm saying. And the third thing that I'm going to say is, whatever you hear, right? Business is set. I believe there is nothing called as business is set.
Yes.
Challenges in businesses change. Today you may have a challenge in marketing. Tomorrow you may have a challenge in execution. Day after you may have a challenge in, cash flow and bank balance, etc. Fourth day you may have a challenge that the government is changing some kind of regulation. Your business is getting affected, etc., etc.
Right.
There will be competition, etc., etc. So, business is set is a terminology which I don't believe exists. You can say business has made a brand, and because of that, there is oncoming business, but challenges never cease.
Right. Challenges
never end, and that is where, there will be some or the other fire to douse every day. So that is my first 3 core things. Then the next 3 things that I mentioned, I will stop here for now. Please.
So, very interesting, because I know that in our conversations we've talked about a lot of different things, and one thing that stands out with me is your experience working directly with Ratan Tata ji. So, that is significant. I'm sure that not a lot of people in the world who have worked directly with Ratan ji. And what is the experience like? What are the learnings? What can you share with us?
Okay, so first of all, very fortunate enough that I have interacted with Ratan ji on 3 to 4 occasions on certain products that he was very keen to look at. So, first of all, hats off to that gentleman for what he did, not only for the Tata Group, but for the whole of the country. But there is so much to learn from him. And in short, I will just say the top 4 or 5 things that I remember at the top of my head. One, the things that he taught me was always think whatever change you're doing, what is the impact on the customer? Because the customer is the most important person in the business.
Yeah.
Okay. And I can give a very detailed example on this, and I will make it very simplistic. You see the stitching out here? Okay. So he used to be so much involved in the car projects that you're doing. And I was doing this project called Tata Manza Club Class. Right. And he was also keen on seeing what stitching, what thread are we using out here.
Right.
And then based on whatever we are presenting him, I learned from him that whatever you're doing is do it such that what is the impact on the customer. Second thing, he taught make life simple for the customer. Your service should be such that the customer should know that whatever you're doing is making his interaction with your business should be very simplistic, very smooth. Okay. If that means you taking off some workload from him onto your plate, okay,
right,
and making his life simpler, okay, that is learning number 2. Third, continuously innovate, continuously raise the bar in your organization or your whatever level of quality you're doing. That is third. Fourth, customer, if you are coming up with a new thing, okay, a new feature, also imagine if the cost price for you is X, what is the customer ready to pay for that?
Right.
Okay. If the customer, this is where you have to get into the customer's shoes. Do you see everything is revolving around customer?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
If the customer, you have to get into his shoes and think what is the customer going to be ready to pay for that? And that's why we had a concept of VOC, Voice of Customer Capturing. And all our clients will know that the first phase after they sign up with us is VOC, Voice of Customer Capturing, which is actually a Jaguar Land Rover term.
Okay.
Right? So, if the customer is ready to pay so much and the cost price is so much, then you see the delta, there is profit margin. You say, okay, adapt this, move ahead. Okay, that is learning number 4. Learning number 5. Do not give up. Persistence. If you look at it, Indica was launched in 1998. There were thousands of bookings, and then there were many cancellations because of the poor quality, right? And then what was launched was version 2. Many people don't know this. When Indica was launched and there were so many issues or cancellations, Ratan Tata was trying to sell the Indica plant to some other company, which I will not name for respect. But then he came back and it could not be sold. And then he came back and told the team that there are only 2 options. Either you people make this work or this will shut down on its own. And then the whole team came together and made Indica V2, which then became one of the biggest hits in India. So do not accept defeat. Same thing happened with Tata Nano. They did not accept defeat in spite of whatever issues that happened. They went on and tried. So that is perseverance. Number 5. And number 6. And one of his biggest learnings. If you want to have a long-term business, do not walk alone. Relations are important. Relations not only with your customers, but also with your suppliers, also with your stakeholders, etc., etc. And in this relationship, there should be integrity, transparency, the right level that's needed, and trust. So that synonym that the Tata brand has in India about trust, and the synonym of integrity, etc., that has to be around the core values of your business.
Right.
And that is why from day one, our tagline of Bullseye says, our interests lie in your interests, and that will never change. So I've just mentioned 6 points apart from 10 or 15 points that I may have learned from him. But yeah.
So now, you've started this business. We've covered that. What you've learned, we've covered. I want to come to a very interesting point in your journey. The point where you scaled your business. when I say scalability can be different for different people depending on where they are in their business journey. But specifically, what did you learn from acquiring 120 odd properties for your clients in just over 2 years? Because that's a lot and very quickly, right? So you can't do it alone, but you've got team and you've built that up along the way and all those different things. But what is the key learning over there? What is your philosophy behind hiring people, managing people, getting them to perform, getting them to help you scale? Tell us about that.
Okay, so I will answer this in two sets. First thing is about scalability, right? And the second answer is about the team management, right? So when it comes to scalability, I say that in the first few months or the first half year or 9 months or 1 year also, take things slow. Do not rush a lot into getting a lot of deals because you are evolving. The business is evolving, right? You have reached, before you started the business, you have reached a certain level of knowledge, and then that level of knowledge in the first 10 clients and that first 10 deals, 10 invoices, that will be more than the learnings that you'll have from invoice number 100 to invoice number 110. Okay? So gradually you will learn over the first 1 year what does your business stand for, and let me tell you, it changes. And I will give the same Tata Motors instance. In 1998, when Indica was launched, Tata Motors was known to be, till 2005 also, 2008 also, Tata Motors was known to be a cheap car manufacturer. That was the brand image. But today, 2024, Tata Motors' products are known to be the most safe, one of the most safest on the road, value for money, and good looks, and a very good music system, etc., and also a good, decent quality, not the best quality in India, but maybe amongst the top 4, top 5 in quality. So they have changed their brand image. So this, what is your business brand standing for? That will evolve. You will come to know that over the next 1 year. Okay. And that is also synonymous to something like, by over 1 year, you will understand who is your ideal client. You will not know that on day one, and that answer will change, and that answer still changes, right? And then if you maintain that attitude of being ready to learn at all instances, right? So now I have done 120 deals, but still 121, the 121st deal will also teach me something new. And if you keep that culture of within the team of learning all the time, continuously improving, then you will be able to continuously scale up, or the volume will grow. Okay. So this is one short answer about scalability. That what your brand image stands for, what your ideal client is, and then you have to go and hunt for that ideal client. If you are hunting in the wrong region and pitching your services to those clients who are not your ideal client, then you will not get that scalability. But if you are putting it to the right people, and the word of mouth in the business is there, right? My biggest strength of marketing is my existing clients. My concept is not that my clients are, my concept is not that my Facebook posts or my YouTube videos are going to get me clients. My existing clients will get me clients. They are not only my marketing tools, they are my brand ambassadors. Okay, that is the concept that we have for scalability. They are driving the scalability at our pace.
Right.
Second, team management. So we do have a team of 10 people. Okay. And the point is, what do I look for in those people when I'm hiring them? So I look for something very different. I look for, first thing is value system. Core values of the person. Okay. Because they are the things that are very, very, that drive everything. Right? Values like integrity, honesty, transparency. Okay. Second thing what I look for is, has this person struggled in life and achieved something in life and does not have any kind of arrogance in it, or is, in other words, still down to earth. Because if he has done something in his life that is extraordinary, or something even like come from very humble homes, very low middle class, etc. families from India, but have managed to achieve something much more, right? then I see that as a second virtue. And they should also not have that arrogance. Third is that attitude to learn. Okay, so if a person believes that I have already learned a lot, I have achieved a lot, and I am good where I am, and there's no further scope, etc., then that attitude to learn is not there. Attitude is also more important than aptitude. Right? Skills can be taught.
Yes.
Right? But the basic intrinsic thing that is needed is that attitude, that approach, that yes, I have to improve further. So these are the three things that I do look for while hiring a person. And our team, our whole team of 9 people, you'll see everybody has that. Somebody has, achieved significantly high on his own without taking money from his parents, or coming from a very, low income family. And the way they struggled, did a part-time job for, while studying, etc. Those are the kind of things that are there in each person of our team. There is something like that. And touch wood, there's no wood in this car. Yes, there is. Okay. Touch wood, we have 0 attrition rates in our team. So since last 2+ years, we have 0 attrition rates, which is very uncommon in this industry. Because every person joins you and then he is come to learn through you, and then 6 months later he's wanting to start on his own. And that is with not only this industry, whether you take mortgage broking, whether you take even landscaping industry. That is the main intention of most people. So not having any attrition from day one, having all those people still in the team, and how the team cohesively bonds together to improve the experience of the customer is what we have built in our company.
That is really good. That is really good. I think I want to touch a little bit on some of the points you talked about in this one. One, your clients are your brand ambassadors. And like I mentioned at the start of the video, you have grown your business on the back of your satisfied clients. Not so much by marketing your business, going out there, promoting your business, your website, your SEO, your ads, your social media, none of that, which is a very different way of doing things. So why did you choose to avoid all these things, especially at the start when you did not know how it will all pan out, right? So a lot of businesses don't put in any systems around referrals from existing customers or from vendors, right? How did you build this up? Let's talk a little bit about that. Your most effective channel is referrals. How did you make it work?
Yes. So this again takes me back to Tata Motors. So I remember in Tata Motors, it used to happen that a person at the age of 28, 30, he will go and buy an Indica. Okay. And the typical Tata Motors customer pattern was that 3-4 years later, he will come back and he will sell back the Indica to you, and then pick up a better car than that, a medium level SUV.
Right.
And then in a few years, he will probably come back with that and return that car, and he will take a premium SUV like a Tata Safari.
Right.
So the concept that I learned out there is that if you give the right service, loyalty, integrity, etc., and not only at the time of sale, but after the sale is done, also that continuous service, that continuous support is there to the customer, then from the same customer you will have repeat business and repeat business and repeat business. So that is something that we enjoy a lot today. So out of every 10 deals that we do, 7 or 8 deals, okay, depending, varying slightly, 6 to 8 deals.
Right.
Out of those 10 deals are such that it is through an existing customer or an existing customer buying again, or an existing customer has sent his friend to us.
Right.
That you buy with these people.
Right.
Okay. And he may be buying for the first time with us, but he's coming from a word of mouth.
Right.
So that is that whole concept from Tata Motors that I learned, that I don't want to work with so many people. Okay. I don't want to be doing so many inquiries in a month.
Right.
I don't want to pitch my service to so many people. I would rather keep a small set of customers. And these set of customers are now my marketing ambassadors.
Yes.
Right? So these, can you imagine, rather than me alone doing my marketing or another 2 people in my team, suppose we put 3 people in the team in marketing.
Yes.
There are not so many people, but I'm just telling you that if we put 3 people in the team to do marketing, whereas those set of customers which may be running at 70 odd customers of till now, do you understand that? They are now our brand ambassadors. They are the people out there. So do you see exactly what I learned in Tata Motors, that if you keep your service at the right cost, you're giving value for money in that service, and even after the deal is done, you're still there to support the client after sales support, then they will continue that good word of mouth, and that is where those brand ambassadors market for you.
Interesting. So, I want to venture a little bit outside of this as well. With so much experience, education, knowledge, and things that are happening within the property market in Australia, it's very, very quick. It's very fast. I'm not asking you for a tip on where to buy my next property, but what I'm asking you is, how do you keep yourself updated on multiple fronts? So obviously, you will obviously keep on top of your property updates. But apart from that, doing business is not easy. So how do you learn new things about business, about lifestyle, about many other things? Like, for example, I know you're very big into Japanese minimalistic lifestyle kind of thing, right? You've got that from somewhere. So I want to go a little bit deeper into your personality and understand, how do you keep yourself updated and how do you keep yourself learning new things almost every day?
So there are 2-3 ways of doing this. One is I have a set timetable that, every week I ensure that I have at least 4 days of exercising.
Okay,
I have done some exercise, and by default every night I go for a walk.
right.
By default.
Right.
So even if I don't go for those 4 days of exercising, one day I'm playing soccer, one day I'm playing table tennis, badminton, cycling.
Right.
Okay. This in winter will change to, cycling maybe rolled out and I'll go to swimming because that's an indoor activity, right?
Right.
So, like I have a set timetable where I have dedicated that 5% of so much of exercising has to happen in a week.
Yes.
I also have a set time that how much time am I going to spend with new inquiries. How much time am I going to spend with existing clients. Okay. Now this is actually the biggest proportion. So the truth is that, and this is actually an answer for the last question, that if I have to receive a call from an existing client who has probably bought a property with me 3 years ago, and I have to receive a call from a client who's just going to sign up and give me new business, I will always go call the existing client first, because of the fact that same thing that I said, that don't concentrate on new clients so much, concentrate on existing clients. Okay. So I have a largest portion of my timetable is for my existing clients. Then I have my team. I have it planned out that which person I meet at what frequency. There's a one-on-one. There's a career plan. Okay, what you will learn in the next 3 months, where you will go up to. 3 months later, we'll review again. I have some meetings with my team members starting at 10 p.m. in the night, finishing at 11 in the night. Right? So, I have formatted my plan such that I am keeping some time for my own personal development. Because I had never thought I will be managing a team of 9 people. Today, I have various people working, and then I have to also rejuvenate and relax myself and keep myself upgrading myself to make sure that when I am upgrading myself, they are also raising my bar. They are also able to see that we have to keep in touch with them, in touch with Jas. So in short, this is how I have formatted my time or planned my day out, or week out, or month out, so that I am allocating time to staying in touch. And what I have also allocated time is, I go and socialize with people from where I want to learn things. So this concept of minimalistic living comes from my brother-in-law, my sister's husband, who is actually an IIM Calcutta passport and did fantabulously well. He ran a company in India with 15 odd branches, And he used to earn significantly higher, big amounts of money back home in India in 2002, etc. But he used to cycle to work.
Yep.
He used to cycle to his office, which was 3 kilometers away. Right? Now from there, I started getting some insights about how we should. He had all the money in the world to buy the best of cars available in India in 2002, but he used to cycle to work. And his concept was, while I am cycling to work, I am also exercising. As well, at the same time, I am keeping myself not getting used to these luxuries. So my concept is not that don't have the pleasures of life. It is completely important. But slowly, I am also trying to adopt a similar fashion where I reduce the number of clothes that I buy in a year. Okay, in my own way. So I have started going and meeting people from where I can learn something new. Okay. It's not about this style of life only. But every person has a beauty in that person. So you remember that saying that they say a man is known by the kind of friends he keeps or the company he keeps, right? So I am trying to meet people from where I can learn something new. And somebody may be very good in business, somebody may be very good in their social life, somebody may be very good in art, etc. So it gives me positive feelings to look at the good in that person, learn the good, ignore the bad. Okay. So that is the aspect of trying and learning from others.
Right. Okay. So that is great information, Jas. So tell me this, what is your most important, or what are your sources of knowledge? Is it a podcast? Is it a book? Is it something else? Where do you find, growth, information for growth?
Okay. So my sources of knowledge when it comes to business, okay, first, other people.
Okay.
So there are definitely people in businesses who are much above than where I have reached, right? And they're not necessarily in buyers agency, but also in other businesses, whatever it may be. It may be construction. It may be something completely non-related to real estate. It may be scrap business. They may have spent 10 years, 20 years, maybe 5 years, but it's not necessary about the age. They will be able to teach us much more.
Right.
Okay. The kind of challenges that I face in my business, they might have faced some other time. Only that the way some variables change. Right? Their customer is different, etc.
Yes.
So those are one of my prime sources of learning. Apart from the fact that I dedicate some time for my own personal development and read a bit, I repeat a bit. Okay, that is my source of learning. So I think I've answered your question.
Yes.
Right? That is my first source of learning. The second source of learning is doing my own research, spending some time on the net. And it is not only, like I said, it is not only about buyer agent business, it's about other things also. Right? And third is discussing a plan, not only with my better half, but also with my team. And also probably going and discussing with other buyer agents. Right? Because I don't believe in that two buyer agents are head-on competition. No, it is this way. Okay. If I look at it, in 1995, Tata Motors was trying to collaborate with Honda. Right? And why were they collaborating? They're collaborating that you have learned something, you teach us.
Yes.
We'll help you get into India. Right? So there's a mutual give and take. Well, likewise, Tata Motors had collaborated with Mercedes-Benz in 1940 to make the first truck called Benz truck.
Right.
Okay. Tata Benz. I think it was called Tata Benz.
Okay.
So that is also a collaboration. Right? And even today, Tata Motors then went and bought Jaguar Land Road. They basically bought them. Otherwise, they would have gone for a collaboration. Tata Motors is continuously doing collaboration with electric vehicle battery companies.
Right.
So this collaboration is what takes us significantly faster up or improves the level much higher rather than learn that on your own.
Right.
Because somebody else has already spent years doing it.
Yeah.
Right. So that is my strategy for learning and continuously growing.
Right. Okay. So another thing that I wanted to understand, like in Australia, we live a very busy life. Some people overseas or back home in India may not understand this, but you do everything on your own over here, right? Now, you've got a very young child, you've got an active family life, very busy business that demands a lot of your time. You you make time for yourself. You are constantly networking within the industry and otherwise as well. So you're socially very active as well. How do you manage? Because this is very critical for small business owners. Because they spend so much time within their business, they sometimes lose that balance, right? How do you balance your work life, and what can you tell other small business owners to help them balance their work life as well?
Okay. So first thing what I will say is, this is the reason why I said that you should be so passionate about your business, so much in love with what you're doing, that if that business starts asking for more time from you, you should not feel it as a burden.
Yes.
You should not feel it as a, you should feel the full zeal to do it.
Yes.
Okay. Then your client service will not fall down.
Yes.
Okay. Second, every business, you should have a 3-month plan, 6-month plan, 9-month plan, 12-month plan.
Yep.
Out of this 3-month plan, you should, just track top 3 things that you want to track. Okay. And you should not, once you set this on 1st of January 2025, just putting a ballpark date. Okay. But just putting a date. If you have said by January, February, March, 1st of April, this is what I want to achieve.
Right.
Okay. In these top 3 things. Okay. Don't wait to review that on 1st of April.
Right.
That quarterly plan, you saw what I told you, 1-year plan, 9 months, 6 months, 3 months.
Right.
Okay. You should have set milestones for each of them. That first 3-month plan also, I'm telling you, break it down further. And what are you going to achieve in the first month, in the second month, third month. Suppose you're saying I want to increase my sales by 15% by the end of the first quarter. Okay. So then what you have to do for that by the end of first month is you have to increase it by 5%. Right. Now that 5%, first month target, you break it down again to 4 weeks. Okay. And then follow a thing called PDCA. Plan, do, check, act. A very common thing used in automobile industries and project management, etc. Right? For all those 3 as main things that you have decided, you have to make sure that you have a plan, weekly plan, fortnightly plan. You have to do a weekly review, fortnightly review, then 3rd week review and 4th week review.
Okay.
So basically in that whole 52 weeks, whatever you have targeted, you have to break it down to quarter to month, month to week, and do every action that you have decided. This action is for increasing the sale. You have to also close loop it.
Right.
If you don't check it and don't see if the effect is coming or not, you will not be able to, you will take efforts and you will not get the output.
Yes.
And if you don't get the output, you will get frustrated.
Right.
So that PDCA cycle is very, very important. So this is how I will say is about, setting your goals. Now coming to the work-life balance thing, I must say there's significant improvement needed in me also, because I have a home minister who is not very happy with the amount of time I'm spending on my business, but that will improve, right? So in December when I was working, even 24th, 25th of December I was working.
Yeah.
Because there was something urgent that had come up. And if I wouldn't have worked on 24th, 25th, the client would have lost a very good deal.
Yes.
Right? So how did I compensate? I compensated by that time finalizing a holiday for 1 week later with my family. Okay? And giving them more time over there. So you have to remember there will always be a trade-off. There will be a time when the business will demand most time away from you when you are actually supposed to be on a holiday.
Yeah.
And if you are in love with your business, which you should be, and in love with your customer, and you know that I am not going to compromise on customer service, period.
Yes.
Then 24th, 25th I was working to make a building and pest inspection happen on 26th and 27th. And then I compensated by booking some time off later.
Yep.
Right? So I have a friend and he's a top guy now, top gun in India. He leads a company of around 6,000 people or something. He had told me, Jas, there's nothing as work-life balance. If you love your work, you will learn that work is life.
Yes.
Okay. And I will not say that he is completely correct. That is his way of looking at things. I'm just sharing to you as my way is that we should work, but we should love our work so much that we don't find it as work.
Yes.
right? You must enjoy doing what you're doing, and that comes down to the basic core that I said. You should enjoy your business. If you're not enjoying it, don't do it, right? 2, relationships are important. It is important to manage your business as well as those people who have helped you support the business, those people who has taken care of your family while you are working hard on the business.
Yes.
So you have to take care of them also. And that is exactly what Ratan Tata also told us. I remember in one mail to us, I forgot, to the year 2010 or 11, he had written that if you lose one promotion, if you don't get one particular year's bonus because you are not performed that well, it's okay. But it is important that you are able to take care of your own health, both physical and mental. If you're able to take care of your relationships, able to give time out there, and if you're able to spend time on yourself, to upgrade yourself. It's not only about your education and your skills, but even upgrade yourself in your whole purpose of life, right? Then you are able to, it's okay to give away one promotion. Let it not happen this year. Let it happen after 2 years. It's fine. So that is also the kind of guideline that we have with our team. That they have given them a lot of flexibility, that even during December, the most peak time that we are doing deals, I did not stop anybody from going on whatever leave they needed. And they went, and I covered up for the client to ensure that the client is not affected. We in fact had some emergency leaves also happening, but we made sure that the client is not affected. So you have to make sure that, it's a trade-off. 1 month you're giving more time to the business, make sure the next month you're somehow covering up. Okay, so that you are this will never be stable. Sometimes the business will ask for more, the family can do with less, and have those open discussions with those people, with those important members in the family, because those family members is whom you are working, and those family members are the people who are supporting you to do your business.
Exactly.
Some of us are doing, I know many buyer agents now in the market who are doing buyer agency parallelly and doing a job also. So there they are giving more time to work. So your better half is helping you do that. Right? So make sure you give it back to that person over a period of time.
Thanks, Jas. I think we're coming towards the end of the episode. So quickly, 3 tips that'll help another Australian small business owner grow quickly in 2025.
Okay. So if you want to grow quickly in 2025, and 3 tips. First, concentrate on your customers. Make sure that your customers are not happy with your service. They should be delighted. The next level, okay, there's unsatisfied, satisfied, happy customer. Next level is delighted. Those customers help you with your business next, okay. 2, attitude of making a plan and having check milestones. And PDCA is most important. Plan, do, check, act. There's no harm in checking with customers. How did you find our service? Be honest. Build a relationship such that they are being transparent with you, because they are the best person to give you your feedback on your business. Nobody else. Okay, nobody else can sit outside and give you that feedback. And 3rd, remember, a business survives if there is profit. And when you're starting off, it is more about cash flow. Where are the sales happening from? And continuously aligning with that, what is the strength of your business? SWOT, SWOT analysis. Continuously to be done on a quarterly basis. So instead of 3, I've said 4. Okay. Yes, so remember that the 3rd is cash flow and profit, and 4th is SWOT analysis. So I'll just stop out here.
No, great. Thank you so much for your time today, Jas. Really appreciate that. I'm sure viewers will love some of these tips and they will implement them in their business. Thank you so much for today.
All the best. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.